Alright, how's everybody going? Just move things back here. This is Andrew Hahn here with Trade with UFOs. You are watching our YouTube channel, Trade with UFOs, or you may be joining us on Facebook, or you are watching us through our live coaching platform. So welcome to everybody, and hopefully you've read through the disclaimer up here at the top here. And we are live now. It's 9 o'clock here, starting the US session, and today our agenda, as usual, is going to be through this simulcast, we're going to look at the markets, some opportunities that we had looked at previously, and also looking at current opportunities, looking for those. So the first part of this section, of course, is basically simulcasted publicly, and probably after about 20 minutes or so, we'll cut our public stream and then move across to and continue on in our live session with our private stream. So if you are interested in our private stream, please do go to tradewithufos.com and sign up for our coaching there. Okay. Now there could be some lag, of course, because we are streaming live globally, and if you do come up with any questions, feel free to chat in the box, and we will be sure to get back to you. Okay. All right. So let us now look at the market, see what's going on, because we did have some pretty big moves, right? So let me just move this so we have a little bit more real estate here. Whoa. No, we don't want that. Let's go like that. Okay. Alright, let's get a bit more space there. And let us also maximize this. Let's see. Okay, so check something here just to see if we can fix this up a little. Okay, we'll have to fix it up for next time. So let me just do a little bit of a refresh, just kind of get this maximum space here so we can see everything. There we go. That's a lot better. All right. Okay, so let's look at, let's see. Just get myself up here. Okay, there we go. Forgot that I'm there myself. So let us look at EURUSD. Wait for it to kind of render. Let's go. Yep, here we go. There we are. Alright, so what we're seeing in the market is, after yesterday's announcement for the FOMs, where they talked about raising interest rates in a couple of years, so it's not like they're going to raise interest rates right away. They're actually going to raise interest rates in a couple of years, and that kind of sent the US dollar soaring and everybody else to the downside. So that's what we're seeing at the moment, and as we head down lower, we should see a bounce here as it gets down to this 19 area, and this whole area here. 1860, we should see a bit of a bounce here going on. If it's not, then we'd need to look down to these other areas below for price to basically take a little bit of a bounce, right? So with this strong move down, we would expect prices to maybe take a little bit of a pause, right? Now it could continue down lower, right? It could still do that, or it could take a move higher, right? Kind of rebound and then make its way back up again. But clearly the movement is to the downside, so it's something that we need to respect there. Okay, but yeah, we definitely have some big moves here, and it doesn't really matter where you look, right? It's the weakness in all the currencies against the US dollar in particular that's causing these very significant moves lower. Let's just get the Aussie showing up here. Let's take a little bit of time, so be patient. Wait for Aussie to get us there. Let's go to, let's see, to want to show. Well, let's look at the pound first, so we can get that moving. Okay, so pound is a similar situation, right? To euro, we've got a big move lower. Okay, if we look at CAD, this will be the inverse, right? You should see that movement a lot higher, right? But those areas of sell orders is a little bit further away. Okay, so overall, right, we still are in this overall downtrend. So even a move up to this level, you know, is not, doesn't necessarily mean that we have to maintain a long view of dollar CAD. We can still potentially look to short here, given the move, right? And we just need to make sure that we also protect ourselves. I think it would be similar for dollar euro. Okay. In this case, let's just go to the weekly. Let's go back to the daily. Okay, this one's maybe a little bit different because we have had this dominant downtrend, but now this is reversing higher with these very strong moves. Just got to be careful of that one. Dollar yen. This one's a little bit more clearly to the upside. Okay, so again, dollar strength, just got to respect that. Okay. And then let's see if we can get that Aussie back up here again. Should see a strong move down. The data to come up. Yeah, 4 hour. Yeah, so on the daily, it's a little bit better there. And this is what we were looking at last time, right, where we're saying that Aussie was just basing, was basing around. We did get a bit of a move here, kind of spiking down a little, but then it finally broke through this area. And the last time we were also saying that this area here was a level of support, that a low, right, which it needs to break in order to get down to this this UFO down at this area here. So so while this is a downward move, right, some downward pressure down here, we've got this sideways sort of action that had taken place, really, right? And so we've got to look at that as just a couple of little spikes up here. This area still could hold, right? So it's not a true change in trend. It's still more of a sideways move until this low is broken down here, right? So yeah, so while these moves are actually big moves, it doesn't mean that there's it's kind of just really bring us back to where we were, whether it be around this sort of December area. We tested here in May, right, early April, that sort of area. We're really just coming back down to that area, so it's not a any sort of change in trend when it really comes to the Aussie. If we really look at how prices moved, there was no clear movement to the upside. It kind of failed, right? Came back into the channel, traded sideways, tried to get up a little higher here, but then it just came back and had just been oscillating around, right? So so you could even say that this move here is kind of similar, right? So we have a move down, but it never really cleared this level down here. So so until we have a good break of this area, we're really not going to see any changes, I think, to the Aussie. Right. So at least versus the US dollar. If we look at the so the Aussie yen, it's similar, although this line here did break. Just move that, and so if you kind of look at this this range of movement here, again, it hasn't really shown a strong disappeared. Let's do this again. Okay, so again, it's kind of still within this range. So even if it does break this low here, right, coming down into this whole area, we would expect some sort of bounce here. Get this stretched out. Okay, so we still could have this this sort of scenario play out as well, right? So I think we'll find this, maybe the Swiss could be a little a little bit different. Let's see what's going on here. So this is a little bit more trending to the downside here. Just the floor. So, so we're again here, even coming down to an area of interest on the buy side, right? So some very strong moves. New Zealand has also been pretty weak. So let's not look at New Zealand. Look at EURUSD. So if you kind of notice because the Swiss has been quite strong of late, you know, all the Swiss pairs have been kind of angled down in this way. So this is where, you know, if we have a parallel here, right, we kind of got down to this lower end of that channel, and now it's moving higher, so it's a very good opportunity to wait and see if we do get some sort of move, maybe about here, which kind of lines up nicely to this upper UFO. So that's probably something that we could potentially look and watch. So, yeah, so I think this, you know, the Euro Swiss is quite an interesting one. Go back to the Euro US dollar. Yeah, so why it's interesting is because if you look at how strong the Euro dollar is, and then also look at how strong the dollar Swiss is, right? And if you kind of eliminate the dollar component, this is really what you get, right? So not much of a, because one is kind of going up against the other, and so you don't have those big long candles, right? So it's that tug of war between Euro and Swiss now. Which one is going to allow the other to get up to the top of that channel there. So yeah, so you know, so we've had some pretty big moves at this point, and it's something that you really don't want to go against, right? Again, let's just go back to that Aussie, right? So if you didn't get in, you know, on any sort of breakout, you know, you really just have to wait for this parallel sort of movement, right? Or if price is going to get down to this, you know, buy UFO down here, then maybe you take a trade right at the prior low. You put a bit of a stop there, and then with the expectation it's going to head higher. Right? That's if you want to do a counter trend trade. Otherwise, if you're looking for a trend trade, then you have to do you're going to have some sort of pullback, right, to the higher end of the to the UFO, and then with the expectation it's either going to continue down for back again. So so really, as we look at Aussie, that's what we are looking to do. Okay. All right, so I am going to now transition to our private room. So for those of you who are on YouTube or Facebook, thanks for joining us in this first section, just reviewing some of the markets that we had looked at previously, and please do sign up for our membership and our coaching if you want to join us in our live room. Alright, so thanks for joining.